So on to today's lesson, and I'm also not sure where the other two students are. Scott is supposed to be here, and there's a Keisha, but Keisha is not here as well. No idea where they went. Anyway, let me download your online work and see whether you've done your work online. If you have, I can mark it from there, and then I can see whether you got it wrong or not. There is a chance for you to do corrections if you want to. But of course, if you get it right, then you get it right by default. Okay, so I see here that Zejun and Olivia have done their work already. Fantastic. Let's have a look. Today, our main thing that we are going to work on is our synthesis and transformation and using connectors of contrast. All right. So when we talk about connectors, we are not actually talking about conjunctions. Okay, conjunctions are different. Conjunctions are single words. Connectors can be a single word or a phrase. So contrast means, oh, here comes Scott. Okay. So contrast means there is a difference. Or sometimes some of my students like to say that to show that two ideas are the opposite. Okay, two ideas are the opposite. So some very common conjunctions. All right, some very common conjunctions that show that two things are the opposite or they're different would be things like but. It's the most common one. And then there's although. Um, I think that's mostly it. But is the one that's the most commonly used. And then there are some connectors for contrast as well to show things are the opposite. So we have connectors like on the other hand. This is an example of a connector that's more than one word. And then we have things like in contrast. Or some people might say in a different manner. And then you have the single word ones, like however. On the other hand, yeah, that's mostly it for the connectors of contrast. So we can tell that it's different, yeah? Connectors, they belong to a class, okay, by themselves. And then conjunctions, they belong to a class, all right, by themselves. Okay, so today we are looking at these ones, connectors of contrast. We're not looking at conjunctions of contrast, so it's different. Why is Scott trying to connect for so long? My goodness, what's happening to his connection? Okay, so these are the house rules. Remember, always keep your camera turned on so I can see your beautiful faces. All right, whenever you have a question, raise your hand using Zoom, and then I will get to you. You can unmute yourself then. If not, please don't unmute yourself. If you have something that's not too urgent, you can just message me in the chat group and I will reply. Like, Mr. Joel, I need to go to the toilet. I'll say, okay, you can go, that kind of thing. But just drop me a message in the chat group, okay? So yeah, only if there's something urgent, then you raise your hand, okay? Now, first up is editing. All right, editing is where you have to correct grammar mistakes or you have to correct spelling mistakes. So in this case, I can see that all of you got this first one correct because all of you picked the correct punctuation. It's considered punctuation when there's something, right, that's supposed to be capital and you need to capitalize it. It's considered punctuation. So this must be capital T because it's the beginning of a sentence. Okay, and all of you got it correct online. Next one, obviously the correct spelling is crowding, not crowding, right? This is wrong. This is correct. This is correct as well. So it's crowding around the pond. And over here, each child was holding a net and they were all trying to catch some guppies. This must be a full stop, right? Not a comma. Because it's not the middle of a sentence, it's actually the end of a sentence. And then over here, Humid or Hamid. Oh my goodness. Obviously, the person's name must be Hamid, right? H-A-M-I-D. Welcome to the class, Scott. Okay, H-A-M-I-D. Hamid is a name. Can you imagine if you call someone humid? That just sounds weird and funny, doesn't it? Because if we call humid actually means there's a lot of water vapor in the air and the weather feels quite like moist, like it's a bit sticky on your skin. So if you call a person humid, right, it makes that person sound forever sweaty. Ew, forever sweaty armpits, forever sweaty legs and feet and all that. Ugh. But anyway, Hamid is the correct name over here, not humid. Could not wait to catch some fish. He took a net and tried to. So what's the correct spelling here? Obviously, it's the first one, right? Scoop, right? S-C-O-O-P, not S-C-O-U-P. You only spell it with O-U-P if you're trying to spell soup, but this is obviously not soup, right? It's scoop, right? So to scoop the guppies from the pond, all of you got this one correct as well. And next, Dara was looking at the guppies in the pond. She remembered. How can we have double M over here for remembered, right? We don't have double M for this. This is wrong. So the correct spelling is just single M, R-E-M-E-M, remember, with an E-D behind. Okay? Her teacher telling her that the colorful guppies were males and the dull guppies were females. Okay? So over here, you got to be very careful. The British spelling for color is C-O-L-O-U-R, right? Color and then full. So the first one is correct. This one is wrong in the first place because what happened to the R? Where did the R go to? And if you want to do the American spelling, right? Colorful is actually considered correct as well, but this is only correct in USA. Do you live in USA? No, right? You live in Singapore, right? Singapore uses what English? Singapore uses British English. Why do we use British English from the British in Britain? It's because we were colonized by Britain before in the past, and they were the ones who started our education system before World War II. And that's why we use British English, okay? Next. Will you catch the female guppies for me? Dara asked Hamid. So she's obviously asking him a question. Will you do it for me? It must be a question mark, all right? All right, Hamid promised to try his best. I'm not sure whether you guys have seen guppies at the aquarium shop before. Sorry, the fish shop. Sergeant, you've seen it before, right? Yeah. Olivia, have you seen
It
guppies
died very
before?
easily.
They die quite easily,
I
right?
got owned it before, but then it died.
Yeah. How about Scott? Have you seen guppies before? At the pet shop, yeah? How about Olivia? Have you seen guppies before? Yeah. So the really, really pretty ones, the really, really colorful and nice ones, are actually the males. And all the females, they look very dull and like very like gray or brown. So whenever you type the word guppies on Google, right? First ones they show you are all the males because the males are so pretty, right? Oh my goodness. How come it's all there? So the males are so pretty. They come in so many shapes and colors, and they have like so many patterns and all that. They just look fantastic, right? Look at this. Check out this male specimen over here. Beautiful, isn't it? But all of these are actually the male guppies, and they have to be so colorful in order to attract the females because the females don't like the dull looking ones. The more colors you have on your fins, it means the better you are eating. The better you are eating means you are better at looking for food. And the better at looking for food means you are a smart fish. And so the female will want to mate with you so that in the future her babies will be smart fish as well and not dumb fishes. Okay, so that's how the guppies actually pick their mates. They see how colorful the males are. Yes, Zejin.
But then how do you know the female is the breed from the male? You can mix breed?
Mixed breed? No. The guppies can only breed with guppies only. See, this is the
Well,
female.
the guppy, right? Well, they got different colors. So if you what you mix the so if you mix a different color like another like a colorful one, then you mix it with a dull one, how do you know it will breed? It will definitely breed.
Oh, you won't know it will definitely breed. That's why at any point in time, right, we normally put, so if there's a male that the collectors think have very beautiful fins and they have very nice patterns and they have nice colors, we will put that male, right, in a tank with many females. So that at least, at least one or two females will breed with that guppy. And then when the little babies come out, right, we make sure to remove remove the male guppy and to remove the other female guppies as well, because they will actually eat the small guppies. Yeah, and in the tank, it's very important to make sure there's a lot of plants and lots of little holes for the small guppies to hide in. Yes, Sachin.
My guppy got breed before.
You guppy bred before? Excellent.
Only, I think only 3 eggs only. There were 5, but 2 died. 2 died. And they
2
were,
died. Did the parents try to eat them?
no, it was, yeah, I think when he was born, it broke.
Oh, okay. What a shame. Sounds painful. Yeah. When they were born, the eggs broke. Wow. Okay, but anyway, over here we have eight questions, and all three of you got all 8 correct. So I'm going to add your points right now in Class Dojo. Olivia gets 8, 5 plus 3. Sachin gets 8, 5 plus 3. And Scott gets 8 as well. 5 plus 3. All right, so Scott currently has 868 points. Sachin has 93. Olivia has 9 points. Okay, let's continue. All right, now for the next part, not all of you got, actually all of you got everything correct. It's just 4 questions, pretty easy. Okay, so this is vocabulary close. Later on in synthesis and transformation, right, we will cover the contrasting connectors, all right, but not yet. So it's still vocabulary. So over here, once there was a boy who took care of his sheep at the foot of a mountain. He was so lonely that he thought of a plan to play a prank on the villagers. So for this one, you need to write the letter F, okay? Because it says write the letter in the blank. I know of some students, they don't write the letter, right? They type the word out, and because they type the word out, right, they get it wrong. Okay, so for online, Olivia, you type the word out. Dung, dung, dung. And because you type the word out, right, that actually means that you get it wrong. Dung, dung, dung. But for this class, I will give you the mark for it. Okay, but remember, Olivia, for your test and your exam, you must always write the letter because the instructions say write the letter. And I have known some kids, right, in primary 3, they wrote the words out. The teacher gave them wrong for everything, even though the words are correct. And then when they asked the teacher, Mrs. Tan, why did you mark everything wrong? I got it correct also. Mrs. Tan said, you don't know how to read instructions. That's why I marked you wrong. Then the boy can't say anything because the boy is like, yeah, Archer, over here it does say write the letter. Okay? So you gotta be careful. Yeah? He called out woof woof. So this is the boy who cried wolf, right? The story of the boy who cried wolf. The villagers rushed out to save him. That pleased the boy so much that he tried the same prank. Okay, he tried the same prank, so that must be B. All right, after a few days, so we have used F and B. Okay, again the villagers came to help him. Shortly after, a real wolf appeared. The boy cried out louder than before, "Wolf, wolf!" But the villagers didn't care anymore, right? Because they had been fooled before, they didn't want to be fooled again. So they no longer believed the boy. Nobody came to help him. The wolf had a good meal of the boys, of sheep. So he had a flock of sheep, right? Of the boys' flock of sheep. So we've used A, we've used B, and we've used F. The boy was upset and regretted his actions. He what never to lie again. Over here, he decided, must be with ed, right? Past tense. Because the whole story is in the past tense. So he decided never to lie again. So D is the last answer. So in total, the answer is FBAD. Okay, FBAD. And all 3 of you got all 4 correct. Good. Let me add your points here. Okay, so Scott gets 4 points. Olivia gets 4 points, and Sachin gets 4 points. All right. Okay. Next. So that's the end of this part. Adopted from the Fables of Aesop, the boy who cried wolf. Now, for the next part, right, is our synthesis and transformation. But we still have quite a bit of time left later to cover everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get you guys to do a bit of sentence composition for me. Okay. So what I would like you to do is, let me just erase the ones here. Okay. First, all right. Give me a sentence with the word flock. Type it in the chat group for a maximum of 2 marks if your sentence is correct. with the word block.